settles on a plastic throne in a basement where the seeds were sown. Found a flyer in a den, no sleep, telling stories we used to believe.
Straw flickers like a heavy heart, watching every single shadow start to dance exactly like we did back then, before we learned to count to 10.
Those oversized shirts and the baggy jeans, living lifetimes in the magazines. The air felt warmer in the parking lot, giving everything that we had got.
No satellites followed where we went, just the money for the rent well spent. The baseline vibrates through the floor, searching for a locked unopened door. Carry the fire back to the start, before a world tore it all apart. Lift the weight of the years gone by, looking at the crown in the midnight sky. The colors bleed into a brighter gold, refusing to do what we were told. Run into the morning before it fades, chasing the ghost through the barricades.
It is not over cause the clock moved on. The spirit lingers when the day is gone. A resonance that never truly died.
Nowhere left for the truth to hide. The seal on the vintage sound. Listen to the pulse above the ground. It rises steady and it rises fast, building a future out of the past.
I see your face in the strobe light spin, wondering where the end begins. The melody holds us in the air,
Like silver threads in a tangled snare. Every beat is a promise kept, while the rest of the weary city slept. We are the spark in the darkened room, a sudden flower in a sudden bloom. Feel the rush coming up the spine, crossing over the invisible line. The energy swells like a rising tide, with nowhere left for the fear to hide. Carry the fire back to the start, before the world tore it all apart. Lift the weight of the years gone by, looking at the crown in a midnight sky. The colors bleed into a brighter gold, refusing to do what we were told. Run into the morning before it fades, chasing the ghosts through the barricades. Carry the fire back to the start, before the world tore it all apart. Lift the weight of the years gone by, looking at the crown in the midnight sky. Colors bleed into a brighter gold. The map is blank behind my eyes, a kingdom waiting for a name. I track the pulse of changing skies and refuse to play a borrowed game. A hunger breeds within the bone to find the spark I call my own. This is the fire of the first breath, the anthem carved in shifting glass. I am the motion shaking off the rest, watching the ghost of the silence pass. I build the throne on which I stand, the sovereign of an unmapped land. is the fire of the first breath. The anthem card in shifting glass. I am the motion shaking off the rest. Watching the ghost of the silence pass. I build the throne on which I stand. Steady shatters all the frozen gates. A chemical transcendence where the gravity abates. We are the spark that catches in the turbine of the light, ascending on the crank, the core, the summit of the height. Vibration is the only truth the body needs to know. Higher than the apex where the solar winds will blow. A million fractured mirrors stitched into a holy gown. Power in the pumping blood but nothing weighing down. This is the surge, shatters all the roads and gates. The chemical transcendence where the gravity abates. We are the spark that catches in the dawn of the light, ascending on a crest toward the summit of the height. This is the surge that shatters all the rules and gates. A chemical transcendence where the gravity abates. We are the spark that catches in the turbine of the light, ascending on a crest toward the summit of the height. The ignition sparks against the cold. A sudden surge takes hold of the frame. Iron veins begin to hum as the pistons awake, leaving the silence behind in a trail of dust. Gravity bends beneath the rotating wheels as the horizon flattens into a single line. There is no friction in the sudden flight, only the force pushing back against the spine. The sequence climbs in jagged stairs, higher than the clouds could ever reach. Until the top is just a shimmering point, ready to plunge where the pressure lies. Into the deep where the heavy currents pull, an explosive leap beyond the safety of the shore. The foundation shakes with the weight of the sound, driven by the heat of a core that cannot break. Patterns of light weave through the dark, defined by the mathematical pulse of the gears. Every turn is a calculated leap of faith across the divide where the shadows disappear. The engine breathes a different kind of air, thick with the power of 1,000 suns. We are moving faster than the clock can tick, carving a path where no one else has run. The sequence climbs in jagged stairs, higher than the clouds could ever reach. Until the top is just a shimmering point, ready to plunge where the pressure lies. Into the deep where the heavy currents fall, an explosive leap beyond the safety of the shore. The foundation shakes with the weight of the sound, driven by the heat of a core that cannot break.
losing doubts to the rest.
Hey! One final motion, one explosive sudden burst. Hey! Quenching the fire and the everlasting thirst. The mountain is moving and the heavens start to shake. Everything is ours for the taking and the take. Rise up like a tidal wave crashing on the peak. Out to the silent and the voices of the weak. We own the skyline, we own the midnight sun. The battle is finished before it has even begun. Victory is written in the smoke and the grime. We're standing on the summit at the edge of the time. Higher than the clouds where the oxygen has been. This is how the legends of the century begin. Rise up like a tidal wave crashing on the beat. Power to the silent and the voices of the weak. We own the skyline, we own the midnight sun. The battle is finished before it has even begun. Victory is written in the sweat and the grind. Standing on the summit at the edge of the time. Higher than the clouds where the oxygen is thin. This is how the legends of the century begin. The distance slams against the floor. A heavy pulse kicks down the door. A tidal wave of moving frames with fever burning through the veins. The static seconds till the strike has come. Velocity is pulling at the seams of sound, lifting every tether from the cooling ground. This is the surge, the sudden violent boom. A million suns colliding in a narrow room. The impact is a hammer on a silver bell, breaking through the casing of a hollow shell. High voltage rushing through a narrow vein. Euphoria is etched inside a hurricane. Grid lines are dissolving into open space. I see the future mirror on a stranger's face. The pressure builds until the cylinder is thin. A radical expansion deep beneath the skin. No more silence, just a roar of pure design, crossing over every designated line. The marrow in my bones begins to hum, counting down the seconds till the strike has come. Velocity is pulling at the seams of sound, lifting every tatter from the cooling ground. This is the surge, a sudden violent bloom. A million suns colliding in a narrow room. The impact is a hammer on a silver bell, breaking through the casing of a hollow shell. High voltage rushing through a narrow vein. Euphoria is etched inside the hurricane. Tidal waves of clarity erase the dark. Every atom caught within a single spark. The threshold is a fever that I want to hold, turning all the leading heavy days to gold. Force is a prayer, force is a rising tide. The heavy gates of logic slinging open wide. This isn't surge, the sudden violent bloom. A million suns colliding in a narrow room. The impact is a hammer on a silver bell, breaking through the casing of a hollow shell. High voltage rushes through a narrow lane. Euphoria is etched inside the hurricane. This is the surge, the sudden violent boom. A million suns colliding in a narrow room. The impact is a hammer on a silver bell, breaking through the casing of a hollow shell. High voltage rushing through a narrow lane. Euphoria is etched inside the hurricane.
The pistons pound against the hollow of the night. We are moving through the static of a faded light. No one told us that the road would bend this way, but the heavy iron heart has got its own word to say. We are the motion in the middle of a long drawn breath, pushing past the shadows and the scent of quiet death. The asphalt hums a story that the blind men know, and we are gathering the fire everywhere we go. I saw the giants leaning on the power lines, looking for a signal or some ancient holy sign. They said the end is just the turning of the gear, that the only thing worth holding is the absence of fear. Keep your eyes on the horizon where the dark meets the red. Forget the weary sermons that the parlor ghosts have said. We are clearing out the basement of the tidal land, with a fist full of thunder and a steady open hand. Driving to the center of the breaking day, let the heavy weight of living wash the dust away. There is a current running deep beneath the bone, and a kingdom built of gravel on a shifting throne. Oh, the engine like a pairing, a tongue of flame, until the silence doesn't even remember its name. We are the mid-set surge, we are the burning wire, lifting up the spirit in a temple of Tyre. Now listen close, because the wind is getting loud. I am standing in the wreckage of a silver-lined cloud. They told you that the truth was a secret you could buy, but the truth is just the distance between the earth and the sky. You don't need a map when the compass is your pulse. Everything you thought was solid was probably something else. So put your foot down on the throat of the doubt. This is what it means to find the only way out. We are not waiting for a sign from above. We are the grit and and the grease and the labor of love. The cities glow like weeds in the rearview glass, watching every moment of the pageantry pass. I'm picking up a frequency that's jagged and raw, something that was written before the first rule of law. It's a long way to nowhere and the tank is half full, but the gravity of midnight has a beautiful pull. We are winding down the minutes till the clock breaks free in the vast and lonely choir of the open sea. Driving through the center of the breaking day, let the heavy weight of living dash the dust away. There is a current running deep beneath the bone, and a kingdom built of gravel on a shifting truth. Oh, the engine like a prayer in a tongue of flame, until the silence doesn't even remember its name. We are the mid-set surge, we are the burning wire. Let's clean up the spirit in a temple of Tyre. Driving through the center of the breaking day, let the heavy weight of living wash the dust away. There is a current running deep beneath a bone, and a kingdom beat of gravel on a shifting throne. Roll the engine like a prayer in a tongue of flame, until the silence doesn't even remember its name. We are the mid-set surge, we are the burning wire, lifting up the spirit in a temple of Tyre. The velvet ropes surrender to the tide, 1,000 shadows shifting side to side. The floor becomes a furnace for the soul, gravity relenting to the control. Electricity is bleeding through the stone. In this cathedral we are never alone. Every heart is hammering a jagged line, leaving all the hollow hours behind. This is the summit where the lightning stays, a frantic motion in a shimmering haze. The ceiling vanishes into the black. There is no looking down or turning back. Total immersion in the heavy air, finding the answers that were never there. Ascending higher than the rafters reach, beyond the boundaries of human speech. This is the summit where the lightning stays, a frantic motion in a shimmering haze. The ceiling vanishes into the black. There is no looking down or turning back. Total immersion in the heavy air, finding the answers that were never there. Ascending higher than the rafters reach, beyond the boundaries of human speech. Sweat turns to silver under burning beams, drowning the logic of our daytime dreams. The walls are pulsating with a living heat. Justice is measured by the steady feet. Suspended moments in a frantic race. Time has no power in this crowded space. We are the friction of a world of fire. One collective aim, one vast desire. The speaker stacks are trembling with the weight of every soul that arrived here late. But now the clock is melted on the wall. We are the giants standing 10 feet tall. Oxygen is traded for a deeper surge, watching the separate identities merge. No more restraint within the crushing throng. This is the place where we finally belong. This is the summit where the lightning sails, a frantic motion in a shimmering haze. The ceiling vanishes into the black. There is no looking down or turning back. Total immersion in the heavy air, finding the answer that were never there. Ascending higher than the rafters reach, beyond the boundaries of human speech. This is the summit where the lightning stays, a frantic motion in a shimmering haze. The ceiling vanishes into the black. There is no looking down or turning back. Total immersion answers that were never there, ascending higher than the rafters reach, beyond the boundaries of human speech.
The marrow in my bones begins to glow, a steady tide that refuses to ebb or slow. I found a frequency hidden beneath the skin, where the heavy silence finally gives in. The walls start breathing the warm gold lights.
Track the dust that settles on the spinning gears. We push the heavy doors and let the thunder in, to feel the shaking floor beneath a younger skin.
A million hours vanished in a single flash, the static charging up before the cymbals crash. We stood suspended in the halo made of heat, the city breathing out a syncopated beat.
The melodies are leaning heavy on the glass. I watch the shadows of the celebrations pass.
You jump a tide around your waist and swinging loose. We found the reason for the midnight and the truce.
The tempo rising like a fever in the hall. Back when we thought we had the power over gravity and all.
The speakers booming like a garden in the dark. Each heavy pulse another accidental spark.
Lift your palms up to the laughters once again, where the light begins. started out to bend.
I still can taste the salt and sugar on me, yeah, beyond the worry and the burden of despair.
The pattern repeats and the
Kick drum takes its toll,
a familiar vibration.
deep inside the soul. Whatever happened to the faces in the crowd? They still exist whenever sirens get too loud.
Lift your palms up to the rafters once again,
Up to rap,
where the light becomes a river and a friend.
and the friend
We are swimming through the wreckage of the night.
chasing every fleeting second out of sight.
Throw your weight into the motion of the room, while the memories begin to burn the moon. In the furnace where the frequency is high.
It can't reach until we touch the velvet sky.
Lift your palms up to the rafters once again,
Up to rap,
where the light becomes a river and a friend.
and the friend
We are swimming through the wreckage of the night.
chasing every fleeting second out of sight.
Throw your weight into the motion of the moon, while the memories begin to burn and bloom. In the furnace where the frequency is high.
We can't reach until we touch the velvet sky.
Silicon nerves ignite under the tungsten flare. A synchronized surge through the static-filled air. Transmission begins where the biology ends. The pulse of the circuit is all that it sends. My joints are hinged on a mercury sea. A cold calculation of what used to be. Systematic hunger in the wiring loom. A kinetic explosion inside of the room.
Gold-plated joys up to the grid of sound, constructing a gravity far from the ground. The hardware is humming a jagged refrain, while binary surges replace every vein. Fluorescent ghosts in the copper and glass, they watch as the optical shadows are past. I am the motion the machine has designed, a physical script for the digital mind.
Voltage is climbing to levels unknown. A skyscraper logic in marrow and bone. Disconnect the tether from the cooling rack. Once the surge hits, there is no turning back. Total saturation in the terminal feed, giving the engine exactly the speed it will need. The sensor is peaking in a violent white light. We shift into overdrive into the night. High voltage, heavy in the atmosphere. The frequency is all that we can hear. Robotic texture spinning in the heat. A digital alignment of the street. Moving like a phantom in the power line. The geometric motion of the new design. Shatter every limit of the human frame, until the entire structure feels the same. Golden pathways burning through the heavy core. The mechanism screaming out for something more. Automated fury in the swinging arm. Isolated far from any sense of harm. Data streams are flooding through the central node. Watch the entire history begin to erode. A choreography of steel and of a spark, guiding through the heavy silence of the dark. Cold-plated fever in the rhythmic sway. The ancient ghost is fading far away. Hydraulic tension in the sudden turn, fueling the fire that the processors burn. Every single gesture is a calculated strike in a landscape that the living never liked. Total interface with the vibrating floor, broken down the hinges of the iron door. Voltage is climbing to levels unknown. A skyscraper logic in marrow and bone. Disconnect the tether from the cooling rack. Once the surge hits, there is no turning back. Total saturation in the terminal feed, giving the engine exactly the speed it will need. The sensor is peaking in a violent white light. We shift into overdrive into the night. High voltage, heavy in the atmosphere. piston crown is hammering against the silver caisson. A kinetic fever blooming where the static used to be. I feel the surge of copper veins beneath the asphalt tracing. The current leaping forward through the marrow and the knee. Gone are the heavy anchors of the common hesitation. The gravity is bending to a predatory grace. I am the sudden architect of my own acceleration, leaving only ghosts of silence in this empty space. The horizon is a tightening string about to snap in thunder, a jagged line of clarity across the blurring blue. I tear the heavy fabric of the ancient world asunder and drink the oxygen of something violent and new. No longer measuring a mile by the dragging of the clock, but by the way the atoms scream as they begin to swim. I have stepped beyond the heavy iron pressure of the lot and found the golden artery that leads the entire way. This is the forward charging euphoria breaking over the crest. A white rush of lightning brewing deep inside the chest. We are the spark that outruns the shadow of the falling night, drowning the darkness in a flood of unadulterated light. The velocity is sanctified, the pulse is absolute and vast, shaking off the rusted chains and the echoes of the last. Total immersion in the furnace where the glory starts to climb. The savage joy of leaping through the hollow teeth of time. This is the forward charging euphoria breaking over the crest. A white rush of lightning blooming deep inside the chest. We are the spark that outruns the shadow of the falling night, drowning the darkness in a flood of unadulterated light. The velocity is sanctified, the pulse is absolute and vast, shaking off the rusted chains and the echoes of the last. Total immersion in the furnace where glory starts to climb. The savage joy of leaping through the hollow teeth of time. There is no fiction in the dream of the unstoppable machine. Only the purity of motion where the nerves are burning clean. It is a mountain falling upward, it is a star that forgets to die. A predatory radiance that is painting all the sky. I do not seek the harbor or the safety of the shore. I am the gathered hammers down the heavy palace door, unbound and unrelenting in the center of the flame, until the very wind begins to shout my secret name. The landscape is a ribbon being shredded by the gale, a blur of emerald and ochre turning into gold. I am the captain of the storm without a rudder or a sail, the undisputed master of the wild and jagged coast. Now it's vibrating with the high and holy frequency. The blood is singing anthems to the shifting of the gear. I have found the final doorway to the king occupancy on the frozen borders of the hesitation and the fear. This is the forward charging euphoria breaking over the crest. A white rush of lightning blooming deep inside the chest. We are the spark that outruns the shadow of the falling night, crowning the darkness in a flood of unadulterated light. The velocity is sanctified, the pulse is absolute and vast, shaking off the rusted chains and the echoes of a last. Total immersion in the furnace where the glory starts to climb. The savage joy of leaping through the hollow teeth of time.
Static friction wears against the soul's erasing moves. Unbound current surging through the tangled copper roots. The ceiling crumbles while the ground begins to liquefy. Bolts of purest motion drilling holes into the sky. Every silent corner is a target for the blaze, tearing through the fabric of the ordinary haze. Calculated lightning finds a way to multiply, feeding on the fever that the shadows can't deny. Heavy pistons pounding out a deep subsonic pulse, stripping every layer till the bone and nerve convulse. Free tremors rattle in the frittings in your jaw. Gravity is breaking like a fundamental law. vapors bloom, crushing every silence in a massive sonic gloom. Some vapors bloom, crushing every silence in a massive sonic loom. Tidal waves of friction washing over open plains, thick electric honey flowing through the iron veins, spinning up the turbines till it gains and starts to glow. Watch the frantic measurement of wattage overflow. Batteries are melting in the furnace of the beat, pavement turning molten from the direction of the fleet. No one needs a compass when the map is set on fire, climbing up the ladder of a high voltage wire. Synchronized collisions in the middle of the dark, every single movement is a catastrophic spark. Compressed air is shrieking through the hollows of the wall, waiting for the hammer of the frequency to fall. Deep beneath the surface where the heavy tremors hide, opening the floodgates for the scourging emerald tide. Everything is vivid in the center of the wall, searching at the ceiling while we shatter through the floor. Lift the frequency until the metal starts to scream, down and out the ghost inside the gears of the machine. Higher than the sun, it lets the balls and vapors flame, crushing every silence in a massive sonic loom. Higher than the sun, where the balls and vapors bloom, crushing every silence in a massive sonic loom. Whoa! Lift the frequency until the metal starts to scream, down and out the ghost inside the gears of the machine. Higher than the summit where the frozen vapors bloom, crushing every silence in a massive sonic loom.
The dust settles high on the highway skin, tracing the skies where the losers have been. I'm counting the miles by the cracks in the glass, watching the ghosts of the heavyweights pass. You bought a ticket to a dead man show, waiting for something that refuses to grow. But the engine is breathing a different design, crossing the border of the mercury line. Rise until the ceiling gives way to the glare. Thunder is the only thing left in the air. I am a fire that
waiting, ready to ignite. We're pulling every shadow from the hollow of the night. Oh, I'm carving my initials in the granite of the world. A banner made of lightning is the only flag unfurled. They wanna see the friction turning into solid flame. By the time the smoke is clearing, they will shudder at the name. I built this from the basement with the fist against the door. Now the ceiling is a memory shattered on the floor. I don't negotiate with gravity, I'm rising on my own. The heir to every struggle, sitting steady on the throne. The iron gates, and let the thunder out to play. There is nothing standing in the center of the way. The mountains are retreating as the horizons start to crack. Take the power back and never look into the black. We are the roar that echoes through the canyons of the mind, leaving every doubt and every boundary behind. The pressure is the diamond and the fever is the cure. In the middle of the wreckage, only we remain so pure. Raise the stakes until the wires snap inside the frame. Forget the old deception and the rules of every game. The gravity is failing and the sky is falling fast, but the winners are the ones who make the first collision last. No more waiting for a signal that was never meant to come. Beat the pavement like a hammer on a giant copper drum. I'm a hurricane of motion in a city made of glass. Watch the fragments of the towers as they shiver while I pass. My lungs are full of hurricane, my blood is molten heat. I can hear the future pounding in the soles of both my feet. Don't talk to me of limits or the maps your proud is true. I am forging something jagged, I am forging something new. The pulse is getting louder, whipping holes inside the skin. This is where the ending stops and where the gods begin. The iron gates, and let the thunder out to pay. There is nothing standing in the center of the way. The mountains are retreating as the horizon starts to crack. Take the power back and never look into the black. Beyond the war that echoes through the canyons of the mind, leaving every doubt and every boundary behind. The pressure is the diamond and the fever is the cure. In the middle of the wreckage, only we remain so pure. The iron gates, and let the thunder out to play. There is nothing standing in the center of the way. The mountains are retreating as the horizon starts to crack. Take the power back and never look into the black. We are the war that echoes through the canyons of the mind, leaving every doubt and every boundary behind. The pressure is the diamond and the fever is the cure. In the middle of the wreckage, only we remain so pure.
The stage lights the ghosts of the people dancing underneath my feet. Oh, weight is lifting like a ghost into the sky. Walk through the velvet where the ancient secrets lie. Every breath is water and every word he blasted. Walk all the shadows in the longest sentence ties. It is a bitch made of smoke over a river of sleep. A promise that the winter is a harvest we can keep. Oh, the weight is lifting like a ghost into the sky. Falling through the velvet where the ancient secrets lie. Every breath is water and
The floor is breathing underneath our heavy feet. The pressure builds until the gravity is obsolete. We trade the shadows for a flash of blinding light and chase the kinetic pulse into the heart of light. The gears are turning in a frantic silver blur. A thousand voices call until the boundaries are pure. Nothing matters but the friction and the bone. We found the kingdom on this oscillating throne. Lift the ceiling higher than the sky can go. Feel the fever rising in a frantic flow. Electric currents racing through the open vein. We dissolve the sorrow and we break the chain. Higher than the summit of a burning star. This is who we truly and deeply are. The motion is our only holy law to keep. Waking up the spirit from a shallow sleep. Lift the ceiling higher than the sky can go. Feel the fever rising in a frantic soul. Electric currents racing through the open vein. We dissolve the sorrow and we break the chain. Higher than the summit of a burning star. This is who we truly and deeply are. The motion is our only holy law to keep. Waking up the spirit from a shallow sleep. Faster than the ticking of a metal clock. Beyond the heavy iron and the double lock. The euphoria is carving out brand new space. A rush of sudden beauty on a tired face. Thundering toward the edge of the unknown. In the velocity we find our emerald zone. Sweat is turning into diamonds on the skin. The end of silence where the melodies begin. Forget the anchor and forget the heavy ground. We are the architects of prehistoric sound. The cycle spins until the world is out of sight. Painting the glory of this artificial night. No more hesitation in the long and live. Filling up the vessel to the golden burn. Lift the ceiling higher than the sky can go. Feel the fever rising in a frantic flow. Electric currents racing through the open vein. We dissolve the sorrow and we break the chain. Higher than that amid of a burning star. This is who we truly and deeply are. Promotion is our only holy law to keep. Waking up the spirit from a shallow sleep. Lift the ceiling higher than the sky can go. Feel the fever rising in a frantic flow. Electric currents racing through the open vein. We dissolve the sorrow and we break the chain. Higher than the summit of a burning star. This is who we truly and deeply are. Emotion is our only holy law to keep. Waking up the spirit from a shallow sleep.
The strobe is cutting through the static clouds. We climb the metal stairs above the crowds. The voltage flickers in steady stream. Concrete is shaking like a fever dream. A silver wire pulls the night along. The pulse is heavy and the ghost is strong. I feel the circuit burning in my chest. The ghost is moving. jagged sequence starts to twist and bend. A spiral staircase that never end. High tension cables hum against the floor. I hear the heavy slam of every door. The digital horizon starts to bleed. We give the engine everything we need. A fractured signal in a vacant space. I see the future in a stranger's face. Take me higher than the power lines, between the shadows and the sharp designs. The friction ignites the frozen air. I find the answer in the blinding glare. The sonic hammer falls on solid ground until the world is just a wall of sound. Release the pressure of the killing pace and lose the memory of time and place. Take me higher than the power lines, between the shadows and the sharp designs. The friction ignites the frozen air. I find the answer in the blinding glare. The sonic hammer falls on solid ground until the world is just a wall of sound. Release the pressure of the killing pace and lose the memory of time and place. The iron gears are spinning fast. The present moment cannot last. A rush of chrome across the grain. A storm of glass instead of rain. Accelerate the beating heart until the atoms drift apart. The gravity begins to fail. We leave a burning vapor trail. The strobe is cutting through the static clouds. We climb the metal stairs above the crowds. The voltage flickers in a steady stream. Concrete is shaking like a fever dream. A silver wire pulls the night along. The pulse is heavy and the ghost is strong. I feel the circuit burning in my chest. The ghost is moving at the light's behest. Take me higher than the power lines, between the shadows and the sharp designs. The friction ignites the frozen air. I find the answer in the blinding glare. The sonic hammer falls on solid ground until the world is just a wall of sound. Release the pressure of the killing pace and lose the memory of time and place. Take me higher than my power lines, between the shadows and my sharpened dimes. The friction ignites the frozen air. Find the answer in the blinding glare. The marrow in my bones begins to glow. A silver lightning surge from head to toe. The ceiling cracks and leaks a liquid gold. A story that the prophets never told. I feel the gravity release its grip upon this wild and transcendental trip. The oxygen is burning like a flame. I've forgotten every syllable of my name. The moments, no more heavy clay. Only this eternal brilliant day. Higher than the eagle ever flew. Everything is luminous and new. Roaring silence fills the inner ear, destroying every atom of my fear. I am the spark and I am the entire blaze, lost inside this monumental maze. The universe is breathing through my skin. Beneath the outer shell it all begins. Breakthrough into the burning holy white fire, swallowed by the furnace of the light. The apex of the spirit starts to keep me higher than the summits that we seek. One collective thunder in the chest, landing in the garden of the blessed. Dissolving into currents of the vast, free from every anchor of the past. The peak of every heartbeat is divine, turning all the water into wine. Ascension in a singular explosion, dropping every burden in the ocean.
The silver dust settles on the windowsill, where I shed breath used to trace the morning chill. I unfold in the shadows of this quiet room, tucking away the fragments of a faded bloom. The thirst is slightly ajar to the whitening sky, watching the heavy clouds drifting slowly by. You hold the compass, but the needle's spinning free across the threshold where the land meets the gray sea. There is no map for the hollow left in the floor, no lock for the hinges of an ancient door. The lantern flickers as the oil begins to fail, writing a ghost story on the edge of the gale. Carry the golden spark through the thickening mist, beneath the pale arches where the horizons twist. May the high tide cradle your drifting frame until the constellations forget my name. Go where the light dissolves into the deep, while the rest of the world is tangled in sleep. Softly the anchor slides from the rusting chain, watched by the purity of the coming rain. The path is dissolving into the vast unknown, a silent vibration through the marrow and bone. It is a graceful release of the spirit's weight before the final turning of the garden gate. I see the outline of you departing grace, the gentle subtraction of a familiar taste. The tall grass bends to let the traveler through, taking the colors that used to belong to you. The air grows dim as the distance starts to grow. Everything we gathered we now must let go. The shoreline recedes into a shimmering haze, ending the era of our intertwined days. The mirror gazes back with a stranger's stare, breath catching on the stillness of the atmosphere. Your trail is written in the salt and the foam, seeking a sanctuary far away from home. Carrying the golden spark through the thickening mist, beneath the pale arches where the horizons twist. May the high tide cradle your drifting frame until the constellations forget my name. Oh, where the light dissolves in me deep, while the rest as the world is tangled in sleep. Carry the golden spark through the thickening mist, beneath the pale arches where the horizons twist. May the high tide cradle your drifting frame until the constellations forget my name.